So tonight I'm going to make lion's mane mushroom, Romanisco cauliflower. Going to use, these are all the ingredients, vegan butter, some organic pure lemon juice, some sesame oil. I might use some organic carrots, but I might not. And then in the end, nutritional yeast, some garlic, it's non-GMO, and turmeric, and black pepper, which I will have to go get as I make the next segment of the video. But the first thing I wanted to show was when you get the lion's mane mushroom, they're really amazing mushroom, good for the brain. You get this stuff at the bottom that it grows off of, and sometimes it's, mixed in to the fine little parts of the mushroom. So what I do is, to start with, don't wash it, because that will make it soggy, and if you don't cook it right away, it will go bad. So you don't want to wash it, but you want to get all this little stuff out, and I can't do it while I'm holding the camera, but you take the toothbrush basically, and you clean off all that stuff. What you can't use, you can put somewhere else, and then you take that, and these are the clean ones, cut them up into smaller pieces. You don't really have to cut, you just tear it, it comes right off. And then eventually you're going to put some oil in there. You're going to take each of these little guys off. You can rinse that with water. Put some butter in there too if you like a buttery taste. Some lemon, some turmeric, some black pepper, which I need to get from upstairs, some garlic, ideally organic. This one's at least non-GMO, but ideally organic. And at the very end, to top it off with nutritional yeast, and put all that in a frying pan and cook it up. This is the first part of this video, so I can only do so much holding the camera, so just wanted to document that much, and I'm going to continue in just a minute. Have to pause the video. So again, I'm cleaning off the stuff from the lion's mane mushroom using a toothbrush, and a minute ago I said don't cut it, but you actually can. You can cut the bottom part off if you want to. It makes it a little easier. And you don't have to use lemon juice. You can use lemon. You can, use any other vegetables. Cilantro is probably good in this particular dish. So right now I'm going to continue to clean and put the clean lion's mane into the frying pan. So then the next thing is these are usually pretty clean, but I just rinsed off the Romanisco cauliflower and pulled off a piece. You can leave big chunks, or you can pull off individual pieces, and it goes really well with this lion's mane mushroom. They're pretty, like a fractal. So that's what I'm doing, just pulling off the individual pieces. It's kind of hard to do and hold the camera at the same time. Let's see if I can get it under my chin. There we go. It doesn't matter if you put the leaves in there, they're healthy too. Maybe cut them up bite size. It's a little easier to eat. Not too much, just a little bit of oil. I'm not using the whole mushroom. I'll save some more for later, another time. And a clean knife. Put some vegan butter in there. Kind of adds some nice taste to it. Probably going to save that for later. And then I'm going to put some pepper. Some turmeric. This will turn it yellow, but it's good stuff. So you don't need much. Some garlic. And right now I'm doing a quick fry of it with just a little bit of oil. And I'm going to put a lid on there and cook it for just a little bit. Actually steam it pretty much. Just to kind of get started. And then I'm going to add lemon juice later. As things start to dry out, that's when I'm going to add the lemon juice. You can also add a fresh lemon if you want. And I'm going to pause the video and let this cook for about 5 minutes. And that's Mr. Sparkle. He's been the one that's been talking in the background. I think he's hungry too. What you need? So now this has been simmering on low for about 5 minutes. Just taking it slow. Fed Mr. Sparkle. I'm going to put a little bit of organic lemon juice on. Trying to be particular not to get any seeds. This adds a nice citrus flavor to it, lemony citrus flavor. It's okay if you get a little bit of the organic material in there too. Just try not to get the seeds. See, there's very little liquid, but just enough to keep it steaming. And you do want to cook the mushrooms. Turn it up just a little bit. And there's a bunch of other things you can add to this. You can add artichoke hearts, you can add pine nuts, you can add other kind of nuts at the end if you want to. I decided against the carrots. I'm just keeping it simple and pure this time. Not that carrots are impure, I'm just saying I'm keeping it simple. I thought about adding some tofu, but like I said, I'm going to keep it simple this time. I'm going to pause the video and come back in about 5 more minutes. So I decided to get creative here, and there's a million ways you can make this. You can make sushi, whatever. I'm gonna actually do a rice noodle thing here. Let's go slow. Okay, so that's gonna be. So this is still cooking. It's been cooking about 5 minutes on medium. The mushrooms are getting nice and cooked, and the Romanesco cauliflower is getting nice and steamed. I put on some more black pepper, some more garlic. There's still relatively low amounts of oil and vegan butter, a little bit, and then a little bit of lemon to keep everything a little bit moist. I don't want it totally dried out, otherwise it'll stick to the pan. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to warm up. Let's see, I've got a problem with my lighters. There we go. So I'm going to warm up this water in this flat little frying pan here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rice noodle. So let me show you the brand, I guess. Rice paper. And then when that's a little bit steaming, you don't want it boiling. So I'm actually just, there we go, it steams. Once it starts steaming, there we go. And then I'm going to actually turn it all the way down to low. And that's going to be ready in just a minute, because that goes really quick, so I don't want to jump ahead of myself. Let me check on this. Okay, that's getting there. Now this is the last thing. I'll put some lemon juice. And I like it lemony, so that's why I just added a bunch of lemon juice. You can keep it however you want. And now I'm going to let that do a final high temperature cook. It's got enough spices, but actually I like garlic, so I'm going to put a little bit more garlic on there. And a little bit more black pepper. It's got enough, well, it does have enough turmeric, so I'm going to mix that up. Really just kind of boiling off some of that lemon juice. And when I put the lid off, it's going to steam for just a minute. Now let me get a plate. So that's now on low, and I almost want to put just a little bit more water in there. Let's use pure water. Not a totally level cooking surface, but I think that's better. I'm going to have to turn it up and get that a little warmer. That's just steaming away. Wish you could smell it. So see how most of the liquid has evaporated. Now you never want to put metal on Teflon. In fact, you don't want to use Teflon cooking ware. This is stainless steel. That's why I'm using a knife to cook with. And honestly, I only ever use that Teflon cookware for the rice paper. So it's I'm going to throw it away eventually, but you know, if you're very gentle with it, it's probably not that big a deal. Except for when you throw it away, then it goes in the landfill, which is another problem. So don't buy Teflon. It's not a good product to buy. Or in other words, Teflon coated cookware is a bad investment. So that's had a minute to warm, and now I'm putting it on low. And that's pretty much done. I've put this back down on low. So I'm going to sort of do something interesting here. I think this is ready. Turn it off. Realistically, I'm just going to taste it. Really good. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off now. So this should really be just warm water. It's probably too hot. That will just simply make it go quicker. And this is going to be a little difficult holding the camera, but I think I'm going to do my my best here, so drop that in there. Make sure it's totally in the water. Really should have a fork to do that. Keep it down in the water, because otherwise it will curl up. You don't want it to curl up. You want it flat. And again, you don't want, honestly, you don't even want as hot water as I have it. So now that's pretty much there. When it turns kind of gelatiny, not gelatin, but ricey, and levels out, if you're not careful, it will crease up. So you level it out. And then I'm gonna try to do this best way I know how. And that is, I really want to drain some of that liquid without losing the, see how the noodle floats? I don't want to lose the noodle. Or maybe rice paper. And then what I'm gonna do, clean fork. So you want to keep it all pretty hot is the point. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of these hot veggies, mushrooms, it is very difficult to do while holding the camera. With your chin. Here we go. So I could do a better job if I wasn't holding the camera, but it's actually good enough. And once the water is removed like that, it will. There we go. I got a Romanisco cauliflower, lion's mane mushroom. I don't know what you'd call this, but it's gonna be yummy. Hope you have a good day. Please like and subscribe. That the liquid in there was became the sauce, and then the very last finishing touch is to put on some nutritional yeast. And it's really delicious. I put on some nutritional yeast. Really yummy. Mmm.